Hey you guys, it's me Bossy. Welcome back to my channel. Today you guys, you know what time it is. It is story time. So this video is going to be about the time I honestly did not know I was pregnant. I know a lot of people say ain't no way you can't know you weren't pregnant, especially if you've already had kids. When I found this out, I already had 2 daughters. But like, I don't know for everybody, but it can happen, because it did happen to me. So this isn't a very long story, but I am going to tell you everything that happened about the time that I seriously did not know I was pregnant. So how the story begins, it was about almost 9 years ago, because the daughter I did not know I was pregnant with is now 8. So basically what happened, I had just had a baby about almost 5 months prior. I was with Bob that I told y'all about, the story time about how my boyfriend went to prom with someone else. Yes, all of these kids, these girls are all by Bob. So I was at Bob's mom's house, and I was with his sister, and I was down in the living room, and she had came to me and was like, "Basima, I'm nervous. I think I might be pregnant." And I'm like, "What? You think you might be pregnant?" I'm like, "Girl, you ain't pregnant." So she had bought, you know how they sell the pregnancy tests, the 2 pregnancy tests in the box. She had went and bought a test, and so she was so nervous and so scared to take the test. She wanted me to take it with her, and I'm like, "Girl, I'm not about to be taking no test. I know I ain't pregnant. I just had your niece 5 months prior. I'm not pregnant." She was like, "Well, just take it with me so I won't be nervous." I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll take it with you," because we were really cool. So I'm like, "Girl, okay, I'll take it with you." So they had 2 restrooms. So she went to the upstairs restroom to take her test, and I just went to the downstairs restroom. I'm like, "I'm not about to take this damn test. What's the point?" So I go downstairs, pee on the stick, put it on the sink, and I leave out, and I leave it in the restroom, and I go back. Of course I wash my hands and stuff, but I go back and run upstairs to the restroom with her, and you know, she's waiting, she's nervous, and my heart is beating for her, because I'm like, I'm nervous for her, because I'm like, does she really want a baby right now? Oh my God. So we wait and we wait and we wait, and then finally her test results pop up, and it said negative. So I'm like, whew, I was so happy for her. I'm like, "Girl, you're not pregnant." And I think she was really 2. I don't know if she wanted a baby or not, but she ended up still getting pregnant right after that, maybe 2 months after that. But anyway, so her test was negative. So then I went downstairs just to go get my test to show her what's the point. I picked that test up off the sink. My heart dropped. Now, let me let you guys know some stuff before we get to what I'm about to say. Like I said, I had given birth 5 months prior to my second daughter. I was not on birth control. Now, I don't know if some of you guys have heard this. Don't come in the comments for me, but one, I breastfed solely. My second daughter was my first child that I actually solely breastfed. She barely had bottles. She never had formula until she was almost maybe 7 or 8 months. I breastfed her solely, and I didn't even have a period from the time, hell, before I got pregnant. When I got pregnant with her was the last time I had a period. Some of you guys may know they say breastfeeding can be a form of birth control, and since I had never had my period from the time I had my second daughter, I just assumed it was due to the fact that I breastfed constantly on a daily basis. I wasn't working or anything then, so I breastfed all the time. So I never had a period again. I assumed it was going to come back once I stopped breastfeeding her. And so I never thought of anything. My stomach was still kind of big and pudgy from when I had my second child. And I never noticed any weight gain change. So I never felt different. And my doctor told me, which you shouldn't always listen to doctors, that me breastfeeding the way I do, I didn't really need to get on birth control because basically I was okay to not get pregnant. So when I went downstairs to go get the test, basically to just throw it in the trash because I wasted the test, I looked at that test and my heart sank. I went upstairs to his sister's room and I showed her the test and she started cracking up hilariously. She cracked up so hard, I was getting so pissed because it had 2 lines and they were bold lines, like super bold lines. Bob, her brother, had finally came back to his mom's house because I don't know where he went, but he wasn't there. I was just there with my 2 daughters that I had at the time. And he came and he went in the kitchen to get something to eat, and I walked in there and I was like, oh my God, guess what? He was like, what Bossy? You know, everybody called me Bossy. What, Bossy? What? He was so annoying. And I was like, just guess. He was like, what? I don't know what. You know, at that point he was getting attitude, so I was just like, well, I'm pregnant. He was like, no, you not. And I threw that test right on the kitchen counter. Yes, I put it on the kitchen counter and I showed him the test and he was just like, shit. Like, really? I wasn't too happy myself. All kind of stuff was flowing through my head because I'm like, how the hell did I get pregnant? Which I know how I got pregnant. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, oh God. Yes, I was a grown woman, but I'm like, I gotta tell my mama and daddy I'm pregnant again? I gotta tell people I'm pregnant again? Like, oh my God. Like, I was thinking all kinds of thoughts in my head. Like, I can't have this baby. I'm not about to have another baby. So, of course, that following Monday, I went to Research Hospital that's in Kansas City. Because once I found out that next day, I made an appointment because I'm like, oh, you know, I'm probably about maybe 5 or 6 weeks along. You know, that's normally how it was when I found out with my previous pregnancies. So finally that following week comes and I go to Research Hospital and they draw blood and everything like that. They make me pee in the cup and they do all that, and the doctor comes back and he's like, yep, you're pregnant. So then he was like, well, do you know when your last period was? I said, before I had my second child. Like I said, I hadn't even had one since. So I don't know how far along I could be. Like, I have no way of knowing. And I had to explain to him how I breastfed and everything. He was like, yeah, that'll do it. He was like, well, we need to see how far along you are. And I'm thinking, well, I'm probably only about 6 or 8 weeks, maybe, if that. And he was like, well, we're going to do an ultrasound to see. So I'm thinking I have to come back. He was like, well, no, you can just go ahead and wait here in the lobby and we'll get an ultrasound tech for you to get you an ultrasound. And he was like, if you could just drink this bottle of water really quick, that way we can, you know, try to see the baby pretty well. And the whole time I just got an attitude because I'm like, damn, I'm pregnant? Why? I can't even enjoy the one I just had. So, I think it was maybe 45 minutes later, I went ahead and got the ultrasound. And so the ultrasound tech, she was really nice, but she kept having this look on her face. So then I'm scared, like, does she see more than one or what's going on? And she kept asking me questions like, so you don't remember when your last period was? And I was like, it was before I had my second child. I haven't had one since then. She was like, well, sweetheart, you're very far. You're close to 20 weeks pregnant. I said, what? She said, and I can tell you the sex of your baby. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I started crying. I was crying because, yeah, I wasn't doing crazy stuff before that because I nursed my daughter, but I used to just flop around on the beds or just do stuff a pregnant person would not do. Eat stuff that they say pregnant people should not eat. But she said, you're 5 months pregnant and it's a girl. Oh my God. I cried, and because I was there by myself. Bob didn't come. But I cried and I was like, I cannot be that far along. She was like, you haven't felt any movement? I was like, I mean, I get stomach rumbles sometime, but no, because the fact that you don't, I feel like the fact that you don't know you're pregnant or don't think you could possibly be pregnant, when you feel stuff in your gut, or you might think it's a indigestion or something, you're not thinking anything. And at 5 months anyway, the baby might have did flutters, so it's not like full-blown kicks. So I'm like, I cannot be that far. And she was like, yeah, so you're gonna have to come to, you know, doctor's appointments more frequently, especially since you didn't know. We just want to make sure you're okay and the baby will be fine. Well, I had left the appointment. I went to go pick up my daughters from daycare, and then I went back home and I waited for their dad to get home from work. So he asked me what happened, what they say, and I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. I was like, I'm 5 months. He dropped his beer he had in his hand. He said, you 5 months? How are you 5 months? I was like, that's what the ultrasound showed, and you having another little girl. Oh my God. He kind of laughed and looked mad at the same time. His sister had actually came over too and told her, and everybody just thought it was so funny but me. So yeah, I ended up telling my people that I was pregnant, and then when I would tell them everything else, like the months, and I was getting close to 6 months. When I was telling them like the months and the sex of the baby, they was like, you've been pregnant that long? Like, they did not understand how I did not know. And I did not know. I wasn't throwing up. I didn't feel sick. I didn't have a period because I was nursing. I hadn't had one before I got pregnant with my second daughter. I did not know. Honest to God, I did not know. So when you talk about having a short pregnancy, that was the shortest pregnancy of my life. The shortest of my life. Because it's like, bam, took a test, pregnant, bam, went to the doctor, pregnant. The months, I'm almost 6 months, close to 6 months pregnant, and I'm having a girl. What, you got 7, 8, 9? I had 4 months to try to prepare. Granted, I still had already had a 5-month-old baby. So my daughters are exactly 1 year and 1 month apart. So after she was born, which that's another story, that girl was almost born in the car, popped right out. So for those of you that think that's a form of birth control, nah, I don't think so, because my body said you a lie, and there came a baby. So yeah, that was the time that I found out I was pregnant. And I just wanted to share that story with you, because when I tell people at work, a lot of them, I know they probably like, girl, ain't no way you didn't know you were pregnant. I don't go into all the details, but no, I seriously did not know I was pregnant. I didn't have a baby shower or anything for her. Plus, you know, I don't feel like every time you have a baby, you have to have a baby shower, especially when you have them back to back like that. Of course, I had just had a baby prior to that, so, you know, by the time my new baby was born, she could just use some of her sister's stuff. So I just really had to continue to buy diapers and stuff. So I had 2 babies in diapers. But yeah, that was the time that I found out that I was pregnant, and I did not know it. So yeah, you guys, I hope you enjoyed my little story time video. If you want more, just let me know in the comments below. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in another video.